Yes, people, we are back with a new episode. Super cool that you're watching again. Of course, in the previous episode you saw that we installed our V10 engine. What a struggle that was, but it's finally in. We're super happy with it, a huge milestone. But what we're going to do in this episode is secure the V10 to the car with the right bolts in the right places. And we're going to get our vacuum system in order in combination with our coolant system. That's obviously super important to have a properly working Lambo. Without these systems connected, your car simply won't work. Yeah, you just want the car to be completely ready soon, so this is just part of it, guys. Do you think our Lambo content is really cool? Then definitely don't forget to give a blue thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. You can easily do that by clicking on our icon in the corner below. That will happen automatically in the video where we took out our engine. Did you see that we cut through quite a few hoses? That was mainly important at that moment to quickly remove the engine, and the hoses were completely rotten and burnt. And the clamps wouldn't come loose, so of course we have to repair these hoses again. And for that we got new hoses. This is actually our pipe, I should say, that goes to the intake system. So this one creates the vacuum, but it's completely deteriorated and also cut off. Of course, you're not going to bother trying to repair or fix this anymore. So we've brought in new hoses, and of course that's what we're going to install now. Let's go. Music. Guys, as you saw in the footage, we connected the two main hoses that actually power the vacuum system to the intake. They turned out super nice. It's just a huge change right away in the engine bay. You also saw in the footage how we sandblasted these three brackets, primed them again, and sprayed them matte black. Part numbers show through, you can just see Lamborghini logos coming through. Those will really never rust again. Super nice. Really very nice. Yeah, now it's time to install these in the car. This is the one that came out. This is our new used one, of course. We're going to install this one back in the car as well. Let's go. Well, to be precise, it's about 2 hours later. I don't even remember where the previous shot ended. I think it was somewhere around when we wanted to install this, the EFAX system, our carbon filter tank. But then we actually realized that we forgot something very important, and that's our power steering line. And that's actually a bit of an issue because we don't really know how it's put together, since that's where the fire started. And we're missing a whole section of piping and the reservoir. Yeah, this is what we have, and we think this is the reservoir, or was. But we've spent 2 hours trying to come up with a solution for what we can do with hoses and how to make it as safe as possible. And of course, we also don't know which is the supply and which is the return because we're missing a whole section of hose. So this isn't everything you're seeing. They were also investigating what the supply to the pump is and what the return from the pump is and whether it comes before or after the reservoir. That's what we've figured out now, so that's really good news. And we've been working on cutting a piece of pipe because this part was completely burned. What did we do? This basically sits in here like this, and this is crimped around it, and we've cut this open very neatly. Very Gerard from Motor Ampersand Co. Yeah, very precise. Thank you, Gerard. And what are we going to do now? We're not going to crimp it back together. We're going to put our pipe on here with a hose clamp, and that's going to hold it completely tight. I'm really happy that we managed to get this apart so neatly because, guys, this is the space we have to work with. This is literally all the space we have. And you have to imagine there's also a thick oil line running through here as well. So yeah, it's minimal. And yeah, here's your catalytic converter, and this is also a piece of power steering line. So yeah, we just want to give everything a proper place, the way it's supposed to be. Everything just has to be right. That's the most important thing. So yeah, that's enough for today. See you tomorrow, guys. It's a new day here, and of course we're going to continue with the Lambo. To be precise, we're going to finish up the power steering. As you can see, the lines look terrible, and there are still parts that are burned. Unfortunately, there haven't been any workers who finished it for us, so we have to do it ourselves. Here we are going to remove the heat protective insulation, because it doesn't look good anymore anyway. We'll put new insulation in its place. But first we're going to grind this off, because we're going to make it so that a pipe can slide onto it here with a clamp, and that will never cause problems again in the future. So I say enough talking, join me this early morning, let's go!
Singing and music.
I'm so satisfied with how all of this turned out. Unbelievable. But after so many hours of thinking, it couldn't be any other way. I think that just with these 2 pipes alone, with all the cutting and everything we've done, there's about 4 hours of work in it, guys. Because it just has to be done right. Of course, we've also used heat-resistant installation, because the catalyst will be placed here later. And we really don't want to have another fire. We're not completely finished with the installation yet, because we still have to connect it to the ferry and to the power steering supply. Exactly, so we're not completely done with the power steering yet, but we're making good progress. It's going to be a great system, Joe. Let's go. Let's go! Guys, I can't believe it, but the power steering is a reality. Everything works. I felt just like a plumber. I had to cut and fit so many pipes. And I had to put on hose clamps. We also found a reservoir that fits the E-gear. That's really awesome, guys. And we went to the junkyard to get a clamp, and this clamp is from a BMW. So our Lambo also has a BMW part.
What?
Are you... Yeah, I won't keep that to myself.
And
to attach that clamp, come over to this side, let me show you. We made 2 holes in the frame, tapped threads, secured it with Loctite, and it's just like original, guys. There's the same little canister on both the left and right sides. Super neat, right? Totally nice. So yeah, with all that said, it's time to mount our evap, also our charcoal filter tank. Because yeah, we couldn't install this without having fixed the power steering line first. Otherwise we would have had to take it apart again. Now we're just doing it right in one go, so we're finally going to install this. Let's do this. Well guys, you were able to see how we connected and installed the carbon filter tank. And next to that, the pipe that obviously goes to the tank vent, and of course the vacuum line that's in place. When we were refurbishing and fixing up the fuel tank, we had already installed the filters. And now that we finally want to connect the fuel supply to the rails, we actually noticed that the fuel hoses were positioned a bit awkwardly on the fuel rails. So we were able to fix that by swapping the hoses from left to right and right to left, and you could immediately see that the tension was gone from those fuel hoses. As you can see, they now look really original in those clamps, and you can just see that the lines are sitting exactly where they're supposed to be, which I'm really happy about. We're now moving on to securing the engine, so that's what we're going to do next. Let's go. Yes guys, that's it for this episode. We really enjoyed this episode. Because of course we had to make something out of nothing. For example, we have a steering fluid reservoir. Our own reservoir that we bought from the neighbor. With a bracket that we got from the junkyard. That's how we got it all sorted out. With of course our own custom made pipes. And yeah, of course we had no idea how it was supposed to go together. Because that's where our fire started. So that piece of the puzzle was just completely gone, and we had to make it ourselves. I'm really happy with the end result, and hopefully it just works. that the pipes are on the right side, going toward the steering gear and to the pump. Well, our idea is completely fine, but we'll have to see if it works in practice when we start the car. And our engine is mounted, so we've done a ton of work. We spent a total of 2 days working to get this episode to shoot fire. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as we did, and with every episode we're of course getting a step closer to the starting moment. What you can expect from us in the next episode is, of course, the cooling system that we're going to fix, and yes, we're going to put the car back on the lift, so it's going to be a super interesting episode. Don't forget to subscribe and give a thumbs up if you think the power steering system is really good. Well, successful, and you'll see us again next Friday with a new episode. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it now. See you then.